surrounded by trees. I had a good life, but growing up, I didn't get along too well with my family. For starters, my mom was like a 5-year-old trapped in an adult body. All she wanted to do was run around and play. Mom's idea of having fun was a water balloon fight with me and my older brother Dylan, and I found her childish behavior so annoying. I could never study in peace without hearing Mom sing show tunes around the house. Come on, you little bookworm. Let's bake some cupcakes. Don't you know how to have any fun, you nerd? Ugh, see what I mean? But the only person worse than Mom was Dad. He was barely home since he was a fancy businessman who traveled a lot. And when he was home, he treated us like servants. Bring Daddy some juice, will ya? My toes hurt and I can't move. There's not a lot left and we're saving it for tomorrow morning. Oh, so maybe you should be the one who goes on 5-hour flights to earn money for us. I kinda hated being around all of them, so I spent most of my time alone reading and practicing my violin. But when I got to 11th grade, things took a crazy turn. Mom told me one morning that we were taking in an exchange student. She's from Tokyo. She'll go to your school and live with us for 4 months. Isn't that exciting? Sure, but we'll have to clean the kitchen first, so she doesn't run crying. Be happy, Jessica. Now you'll have a live-in friend to bore to sleep while you play your violin. I sure hoped she wouldn't be a live-in headache like Dylan. That weekend, we all drove to the airport to pick up our Japanese guest. Her name was Queenie, and she looked like a goddess out of a wonderland. Even her fingers were beautiful. Thank you for having me. Truly, it means so much. It's our pleasure, sweetie. Look, I got you a stuffed welcome panda. Mom? Hi, I'm Jessica, and I'm the normal one in the family. Please, don't judge me based on them. Oh my goodness, this is so sweet. Can one of you help me with my bags? They're heavy because of all the books I brought. Wait, Queenie was into books? I loved this girl already. She and I were talking about our favorite authors on the way home, and after that, we really started to bond. It was nice finally having someone I had stuff in common with. Queenie was also super helpful around the house, so both of my parents adored her, especially Dad. Aren't you amazing? How about I buy a present to thank you for all your hard work? Maybe new shoes or gold earrings? I would have bought some for Jessica, but all she cares about is school and homework. That's very kind, but you guys have already done enough, really. Then one night, Queenie and I decided to go on a walk, and she grabbed a jacket from the coat closet. Oh, that's actually Dylan's. But it's so comfortable, and I don't have any warm jackets. Can't Dylan lend clothes to his guest? You can't just take someone's jacket without permission. Give it back. I don't want you wearing it. Fine, here you go. I'll just freeze to death then. Come on, Jessica. Dylan looked really mad, and suddenly he pulled me aside. What's her deal? After all we're doing for her, she gets this worked up over a jacket? I don't get why you can't just lend it to her for 10 minutes. Because there's something about that girl I just don't like. You mean 'cause she's actually sophisticated and has manners? Makes sense why you wouldn't like her. Dylan just looked angry and stormed off. Jeez, what a drama king. He probably was just jealous that Mom loved Queenie so much. He'd always been Mom's favorite. The next day at school, I was studying for exams in the library when Queenie came in and sat next to me. Hey girl, listen, I just want to apologize about Dylan being so mean to you. He must have forgotten to take his meds. Don't worry about it. Actually, I was wondering if you could help me with my English assignment later. I'm still not fully comfortable with the language. Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, Jessica. I'm really grateful for you. Queenie hugged me super tight, and I realized I was her only real friend here. I could just feel how sad and lonely she was. I waited for Queenie at our house for several hours, but she didn't show up, even though I called and texted her 100 times. Then finally, Queenie arrived carrying a small box. Sorry I'm late. I was buying you a present. Here, open it. Aw, Queenie, you didn't have to get me. At that second, I saw a hissing rat and I started to scream. Jessica, calm down. This is a pet rat. I have one just like him at home. He's so sweet. Just hold him. Queenie let the rat crawl on my arm, but he bit me. Minutes later, I had to go to the emergency room, and Queenie burst into tears. I swear, I had no idea that rat bites were poisonous. I have the exact same one at home, and he's such good company. It's okay, Queenie. The doctor said I'll be fine. Just don't go around giving people pet rats in the future. Queenie just kept apologizing and hugging me. I felt bad for her, but man, it had been an exhausting day. And for some reason, things kinda went downhill after that. Queenie wanted to be around me 24/7 and do everything together. I was thinking I could come with you to your violin lesson today. I've always wanted to play an instrument. I have a recital tomorrow, Queenie, and don't take this the wrong way, but I need a little space. We already go to school together and live in the same house. Of course, I totally understand. Your mom wants me to make dinner anyway. I was relieved that Queenie wasn't upset, but when I knocked on my violin teacher's door, I saw he looked mad.
What is it now, Jessica? Haven't you caused me enough stress today?
Caused you stress? What are you talking about?
Your mother called in to tell me you wanted to quit the violin for good. The recital is tomorrow night. I have 24 hours to find a replacement.
My teacher slammed the door angrily, and I was so confused. Why would Mom tell him I was quitting the violin? I went home to confront her when I saw Queenie standing by the kitchen, smiling at me. How was your violin lesson? Was your teacher disappointed that you quit? How did you know about that? Wait, unless you were the one who said I quit? Yeah. I was a little hurt that you didn't let me observe your lesson. So I thought a good punishment would be taking the violin away from you for a while. I'm sorry, punishment? Queenie, you're not my mom. How could you do that? Playing the violin is one of the only things that gives me joy. Like you already don't have enough joy in your life, you don't appreciate anything your family does for you, especially your mom. You make it so obvious that you think she's dumb. You're just an ungrateful witch. That made me so mad that I slapped Queenie hard across the face, and then I stormed off to my room. I refused to speak to Queenie that whole morning and didn't even say thank you when she made me breakfast.
I suppose all sisters fight once in a while. Honey, Queenie's going to come to school late today. We have to renew her passport.
Good. Get it renewed ASAP so she can go back to Japan. And she's not my sister.
Jessica, what's gotten into you?
Queenie just smirked at me and I left. I tried to forget about her at school, but around lunchtime, I got a text from her. Jessica, where's your mom? I haven't seen her all morning. Is she okay? What was she talking about? Hadn't they gone to the passport office together? I called and texted Queenie to find out more, but she didn't answer. And when I called Mom, her phone went right to voicemail. I started panicking and went home as fast as I could.
Girl's a creep, and I know she had something to do with Mom being missing.
Look, Queenie, I know we had a fight yesterday, but we really need your help. Queenie didn't answer me. She just walked towards the door with her arms crossed. You two won't find your mom anytime soon. I'm making sure of it. You're making sure? Queenie, tell me right now where Mom is, or what? You'll go to the police? You'll accuse a poor, helpless exchange student of making your mom go missing with no proof? I don't see that working out, and I'm not done with you guys yet. In fact, I've just started. With that, Queenie pushed me off of her and walked out of the room. Dylan and I immediately went to the police station and reported everything. They sent out a search team to look for Mom and then did an investigation on Queenie. And to our shock, they discovered Queenie wasn't an exchange student at all. She'd faked her application. She wasn't even from Japan. She lived in LA. So she's just this stranger who came into our lives and made Mom go missing? Who is this girl and what does she want from us?
I don't know, but that chick gave me weird vibes from the start. She's obviously out to get us.
We stayed at the police station for several hours, waiting for any news. Then finally, the police came back with Mom. Oh my God, what happened to you? It was Queenie. She said she had to show me something important, then drove me into the middle of the woods and threw me out of the car. She just left me there without my phone.
I was just lucky some forest rangers found me. But don't worry, I'm all right now.
Just then, some policemen walked in with Queenie. Looks like Mommy made her way out of the woods. You're a monster, Queenie. We know everything. How you kidnapped Mom, how you faked your exchange student application. Who are you and why are you trying to ruin our lives? Because you ruined my life first. When I was 10 years old, your dad conned my parents out of all their money and disappeared. And we ended up having to live on the streets. My mom had a mental breakdown. Your dad is a criminal, and I finally tracked him down because I wanted him and his perfect family to suffer the way I did. I was speechless. I knew Dad had been a jerk, but he was a crook too? Queenie was admitted into juvie, but we insisted that the police look into her family's case. And 2 days later, the police came to us with some news. It turned out that Dad was part of a group of con men that had been going around in disguise all over the country for years, scamming people. And as soon as Dad got home, they arrested him. He kicked and screamed and shouted at us to do something, but we didn't. A part of me almost felt relieved to see him go. I am so sorry, you guys. I never knew much about your father because he always told me to mind my business and kept everything a secret from me. And I stopped asking. That's why I was never happy in our marriage. He was the worst. He never cared much about you or us. You did everything for us, Mom, and I really appreciate you. I'm so sorry if I looked down on you for being messy or childish or whatever.